Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I hope everybody's having a positive, productive day so far today. Happy Wednesday. I'm just going to put some background noise on. We're going to go with the hand pan again. That's my preference. Limitless. 999 hertz. Okay. Grand Rising. I pray your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High are with you today, offering you discernment and guidance, protection. Don't forget that they're there. We very much got a message like that yesterday. All right, let's start out with a morning mantra. Today, I'm going to fall in love with all the little taken for granteds that make this world so wild and dynamic. The planetary design team really went all out on this one. And then with an asterisk beside it, it says trees, flowers, clouds, hills, gentle breezes, touch screen technology. We have gotten that one before. It comes up often, not taking the little things for granted. I can't change which way the river bends on the bottom of the deck. When in doubt, give people the benefit. Everyone else is trying their best, right? Except maybe this person talking on speakerphone in public. So give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Lead with love, not judgment. All right, we'll get a grief affirmation. Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor a lack of faith. It is the price of love. Yes. In reality, grief is part of life. And the more attachments we form, the more loss we will experience. But it strengthens us in a lot of ways. All right, we're going to get a chakra wisdom affirmation. Then we'll light an incense today. We haven't done that in a while. Grief never ends. I actually shared a video yesterday where it talked about loss and grief. 7th chakra, crown chakra, bliss. We got the crown chakra yesterday. So we will light the incense for that. Crown chakra is represented by the color violet. It's at the crown of your head. Frankincense is the scent, the fragrance for the crown chakra. I love frankincense. Frankincense is actually a resin. To do it the natural way, you can actually burn the resin and use it. It has a lot of antibacterial properties. Frankincense is actually one of the gifts that they brought baby Jesus, that the three wise men brought. It has a lot of medicinal purposes. When it's in resin form, it looks a lot like tree sap. I don't have anybody. I don't have any nearby, or I would show you. Let's see. I might have some right here. Here we go. That's what it looks like when it's in resin form. A lot of people use it in health and beauty products, and you can also use it like in place of sage or Palo Santo to burn to cleanse the air. All right, bliss. I seek and find peace, quietness, and moments of bliss in my life. I am persistent in this quest. I allow myself to feel divine presence radiating within and around me. I allow myself to create abundance and fulfillment and to live a life free of fear. Meditation is part of my life. We've gotten that this week. The affirmation that talked about meditation and silence, finding your quiet place, like actually scheduling that in. If your routine or whatever, if you stay busy all the time and you never get any quiet time, it's important to schedule that in. However you get that, going to the gym, going out in nature, going and taking a long quiet bath, whatever works for your, for me, I can very much go into a meditative state when I'm exercising. I just kind of zone out, especially if you're on a treadmill or an elliptical or something that doesn't really require you to think much. All right, now we'll get an affirmation from the Wild Offering Oracle. So finding your bliss, finding your inner peace. That's too many, but we'll acknowledge them. Companionship, calmness, and self-acceptance. Love is what flew out. It's not about finding love. You are love itself. Help me, Lord, to send so much compassion and caring to the inner child that I always remember I myself am love. Not letting grief stop you from loving other people. Don't be afraid to share love with other people. Don't be afraid to give it to yourself when you need it. Using love to help you overcome grief. A lot of times when we get into that depressed state of mind, doing something for somebody else, showing love to somebody else will help us pull out of that. I'm having my smoothie this morning. This one is papaya, pineapple, and banana. It actually turned out really good. But I did forget to put my nutrition powders in there, so that was kind of unfortunate, but it's still good for me either way. All right, now we're going to pull from the Namaste deck. Oh, wrong side, sorry. The Stress Less deck. Yesterday we got to be and just be. Being true to yourself. Making time for love. Whether that's self-love or sharing love with other people. Today, I'm going to fall in love with all the little taken for granteds that make this world so wild and dynamic. That's too many. Remember the things that you are good at. All right, so very much enforcing the self-love. Remember the things that you are good at. Make a list of all the things that you are good at. If you need help, ask people close to you what they feel your best characteristics are. Ask people what talents they believe you to possess. The range of good things will start pouring in from small to large. As your list comes to a close, be amazed and grateful for all the things you have become proficient in. You have acquired much skill. Be thankful. Being grateful helps our body react in a positive way. All of a sudden, we can feel an overwhelming sense of abundance when we remember to be grateful for the things we have or are good at. This will help vanquish any feelings of stress. So very much being grateful for the little taken for granted. Looking at how far you've come, how much you've grown, how much you've learned. Even if you may not be where you want to be, giving yourself credit for the fact that you're not where you used to be. Okay, now we'll get affirmators. Let's see what we had yesterday. Yesterday we had playfulness and perseverance. Self-help without all the self-helpiness. This is probably one of my favorites out of the new decks that I've started working with. All right. So knowing that you'll always grieve, there's attachment is the root of pain. Ideal partnership. We did see companionship with the Wild Offering Oracle. We got love, but we did see companionship when we were shuffling. Love on the bottom of the deck, so double confirmation on the love. Manifestation on the top of the deck. Love can bring bliss. If you can find the love in all the little things. That old saying, you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Acknowledging the little acts of love, the small acts of love that come from everywhere, that have helped you get to where you are. Don't let grief be a weakness. Let that grief pull that love out of you to share with other people. All right, ideal partnership. I am a rare and precious find, and my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I'm paired with a true match. My ideal partnerships and working relationships are easy and free-flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. So, knowing that we all have not necessarily just a romantic relationship or partnership, but partnerships that come into our lives to help us learn and help us love and help us grow. All right, then we got love. Look at the birds. This is a bottle of sauce and a slice of cheese. Saucy. Somebody being saucy. Oh, that's not sauce, it's wine. Ooh, we don't want to be whining. Staying clear of alcohol. Take the time to learn what alcohol does to your body, like the chemical effects and reactions that alcohol has on your body. Okay, love. Love is a many splendored thing. Today I will notice and appreciate at least 3 of those splendors. Like the fact that puppies make me feel like a parent, or the surge of self congratulations I feel when I sink a 3-point trash basket shot on the first try, or how about the chills I get while singing along to your favorite song. So, once again, self congratulations. Love on yourself for making it to wherever you've made it to. We're all on a journey. We all experience different trials and tribulations. But like I said before, even if you're not where you want to be, you're not where you used to be. Being grateful for all the little things that you've learned and seen and done and overcome. All right, and then manifestation. If you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? Get specific and get greedy. You are holding a magic wand and you can conjure up anything. Could it be that when you declare your wishes out loud, you're actually casting a spell for your dreams to come true? They've said it for ages. There's power in the tongue. When you speak it, you're speaking it into existence. I mean, that in a nutshell, that's what they're saying. Or is it just that in a very practical sense, the more people you speak with about your desires, the more folks there are who know what you want and might have the means to help you make it happen. Either way, stop waiting and start manifesting. But don't use that word if you don't want to. That's what it says in parentheses. So yeah, it's speaking it into existence. You're putting power into it. And you don't necessarily have to tell other people. Sometimes that's the worst thing you can do is tell other people your plans, because then you have people that, misery loves company, and people will go above and beyond to hurt you, whether it benefits them or not. People with the mentality, if you dull somebody else's shine, you'll shine brighter. And that's not how the world works. That's not how this goes. You know what I mean? All right. Let me put I'm slacking this morning. I didn't put those up as we were going along. Okay. Now we'll do, Angels of Abundance. Yesterday, we got no more complaining, employment change, and cooperation instead of competition. I hope everybody's having a positive, productive morning so far. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that. All right. Angels of Abundance. We've been getting multiples of these the last couple days. Organize for success. We just got that not long ago. Take a divinely guided chance on the bottom of the deck, and sever vows of property on the top of poverty on the top of the deck. Organize for success. Do not let the word organize intimidate you, as it is simply a way for you. Ooh, my left ear just started ringing. It is simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organize your thoughts, your reports, your living and workspace, and your finances will help you know and plan your next action steps. So, making a plan, you know, maybe it's that time. I know I have to do it often. Every couple months, you sit down and you make a new game plan. You check off all the little goals that you've already accomplished. And then, you bump the old ones up the line and then add new ones. And, spring cleaning, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, getting rid of the cobwebs. Take a divinely guided chance. This one has children in it. The imagery is really pretty on that one. I know you can't see it very well, but all positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. Yeah, there you go. Out with the old, in with the new. We got a lot yesterday about your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, acknowledging that they're there. Confirmation. Also going along with the organized for success, out with the old, in with the new, make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. And then sever vows of poverty. Yesterday we did get the new employment or whatever. And this is also say take a divinely guided chance. So, taking a chance on a new employment venture of some kind. Okay, dear one. There's no need to suffer or sacrifice. Hold the intention of undoing any vows of poverty or self-denial that you may have made, unconsciously or consciously, in any lifetime. As you do so, all effects of these vows will be undone for everyone involved in all directions of time. This is a very pretty picture on here. She's dressed like a peacock. It's like she's wearing a peacock costume. I know you're not going to be able to see it very well, but it's the picture itself is almost purposely made, kind of distorted looking. But there's all kinds of different birds around her. Butterflies. It almost looks like there's fire behind her. So kind of like I'm getting the phoenix rising from the ashes type energy. That very much goes back to what we talked about earlier about the, acknowledging how far you've come. A lot of people in the last couple years have done a lot of inner searching, really learning who they are, learning the truth about the world around them. And so a lot of people are in major stages of transformation at this time. It's all around us in the atmosphere, astrologically, socially, just the world in general is experiencing a lot of different changes at this time. All right, now we'll get angel number. Yesterday we got 1177 and 66. And then we'll get celestial insights. So evolve in a way, letting yourself evolve to the next level. I can't remember if it was yesterday or in one of the previous videos, where we talked about the mountains and leveling up. The top of one mountain is just the bottom of another mountain. You know what I mean? Sometimes looking back like that helps motivate us to go forward. Because a lot of times we can get stuck in that mind frame of doubt because we don't take the time to really sit down and think about how far we've come. So when you finally take the time, what was that? 77 wanted to show itself, awakening. There's 66. We saw that yesterday. Don't worry. 89, you are worthy. On the bottom of the deck, 44, 42, signs. On the top of the deck, 15, 15, self-care. Grand Rising, happy Wednesday. Okay, so 15, 15, self-care, rest, nourishment, relaxation, boundaries, rejuvenation, healing, and peace. And self-care comes in all shapes and sizes. It's different for everybody, but it's just nurturing yourself. Sometimes choices that we make, hello, happy Wednesday. I see you. It's okay to prioritize yourself and take time to rest. Cancel plans if they are overwhelming and instead recharge with a cozy evening. Nourish your body with good food, sleep, and relaxation. What fears or doubts are holding me back? And how can I overcome them to take a leap toward positive change? So going back to what we were talking about with the quiet time, taking that time to think about if there's something that's holding you back from making change or from allowing the things to happen that you're wanting to happen. Identify one area where you feel stuck and take a small but significant step toward overcoming this obstacle. Believe in your ability to create the change you desire. So that goes, I was just talking about that. Looking back at how far you've come and using that to propel you forward. Like if you're doubting or you feel like you're not good enough, or, you're grieving something that you lost during this last cycle, knowing that you can overcome that because you've overcome so many other things in your life. We all get in those stuck places, and in different, what I could call techniques work for different people. What pulls me out of a stuck place may not pull you out of a stuck place. We all have, it's about finding that balance and about finding what works for you and loving yourself enough to do that, to let go of old thought patterns. That's what I started to say that earlier and I didn't. Our thought patterns, a lot of times can be a form of self-care. If you struggle with having positive thoughts, if you're a negative thinker, a form of self-care can be trying to break yourself of that habit of that negative thinking. Because a lot of times our self-criticism, our self-doubt, our lack of love for ourselves is what holds us back. But if we can fall in love with all the little taken for granted that make this world so wild and dynamic, that's our mantra of the day. The planetary design team really went all out. Anything is possible. But you have to set your mind in that direction and not give up and believe in yourself and believe that you can overcome, whatever trials, tribulations you dealt with. And we all struggle with that. It's like it's a never ending journey. As soon as you overcome one thing, there's something else to work on. All right, you are worthy. 8989. Yes. You're worthy of taking that time for yourself. You're worthy of love from yourself and from others. Even though, a lot of us in life experience that is a big theme of today is love. We got love twice on two different cards. Love, love, and it's mentioned many other times in the different pulls. But loving yourself enough to be able to accept love from other people. A lot of times when we don't feel worthy, we're afraid to ask for help. We're afraid to accept that love from other people. And a lot of times it's because we're afraid we're going to lose it. And we don't want to experience that grief anymore. We don't want to get hurt anymore. We don't want to keep losing people. But in reality, that's part of life. We're going to lose everything. You can't take anything with you when you go. You can't even take your body. It stays here too. Okay, you are worth it. Self-worth, belief, empowerment, letting go, confidence, and inner strength. Let go of limiting beliefs that hold you back. What was I just talking about? The way we think about ourselves, about the things that happen in our lives, about other people. When you believe in yourself, you open doors to possibilities and growth. So going back and looking at how far you've come and using that to draw faith that you'll be able to, climb the next mountain. What limiting beliefs are stopping me from achieving my goals? How can I begin to believe in my own worth? A lot of us struggle with that. Self-love, valuing ourselves, because we've been so beaten down by the outside world that we start to believe it. You have to reteach yourself to not think about yourself that way, to see that you're worthy of your own love and that you always get love from the spirit realm. Your angels, your ancestors, your spirit guides, the Most High, they're always there loving on us, whether we realize it or not. Their energy is always with us. All right, write down one limiting belief that you hold about yourself. Then challenge it by writing a positive affirmation. Practice this daily to build your confidence and sense of self-worth. And if you're not good about writing things down, I just saw a thing the other day. I've seen it several times over the years where they talk about talking to yourself in the mirror. Like saying positive affirmations to yourself in the mirror, like I'm smart, I'm kind, I'm worthy. Speaking kindness into yourself instead of judgment. All right, then we got 4442 signs. 444, 3344 on the timer when I said that. Fours came up last week as well. Messages, guidance, intuition, awareness, signs, and abundance. Synchronicities, that's something that we talk about a lot here. If you're not looking for them, you're not going to see them. But after you make it a habit to look for them and notice them, you'll start seeing them more. Stay alert for signs and messages around you. By tuning into divine energies, you will be guided towards manifesting abundance and prosperity. We got manifestation. What signs or messages have I been receiving lately? So, taking the time to notice, how can I stay more attuned to divine guidance in my daily life? A lot of times it requires slowing down. A lot of people are constantly go, 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 buzzing around like little bees. And it's important to slow down because we miss it. I did it for a long time in my life. I started waking up, it was about 2015, which it was kind of always in me, but it really got put into like overdrive, I guess, in about 2015. Keep a journal to note any reoccurring signs or messages you encounter. Trust your intuition and let it guide your decisions, knowing that divine energies are supporting you. So that very much connects with our message yesterday about our spirit team, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, the Most High. They're always there for us, supporting us, cheering us on. When we cry, they cry. When we laugh, they laugh. They share our energy. Their energy's always with us. All right, now we're going to get celestial insight. Yesterday we got confusion, emotion, and yes. $15, $15, $89, $89, and $44, $42. Writing it down works with the manifestation as well. Here it's talking about speaking it out, but I started talking about it and then something happened and I switched to talking about something different. But it does talk about writing our synchronicities and stuff down, but you can also write like your manifestations down, like your prayers. Writing it down can be a good way to almost like make a hard copy, reference back to it if you need to. Sever vows of poverty. Somebody taught me a long time ago that true wealth is not in material things. Finding, appreciating different forms of wealth, spiritual wealth, having good health. If you're a healthy person, that is a form of wealth. That's something to be grateful for. That's one of the many take for granteds that we have. We take for granted having good health. Embrace clarity and sacred union. We already got love twice, ideal partnership, and we saw companionship in the Wild Offering Oracle as well. And now we're seeing sacred union. Two powerful forces are uniting, whether in a relationship or within yourself. This union brings energy and growth. Embrace this connection. It will lead to deeper understanding and transformation. So whether that's uniting, your light and dark side, you uniting with spirit, a work relationship, a romantic relationship, a family reuniting, that could refer to any multiple of relationships. But that being said, the most important one is the relationship with yourself. Knowing that knowledge is power. The more you learn, if you learn properly and you actually apply the knowledge, the more you grow. Knowledge is power. A lot of times sharing knowledge can bring people together. Okay, clarity. Clear vision is leading you forward. Have you been feeling uncertain? Clarity is emerging. Take action with confidence and trust in your path. So once again, having confidence in yourself, having confidence in your choices, having confidence to move forward some kind of relationship. You know, yesterday we did get employment change. So, you know, that could also be a connection of some kind. And embrace. Embrace the changes happening around you. Have recent changes made you feel uneasy? Accept them, adjust, and discover the opportunities that come with transformation. So, seeing the positive in a negative situation. Embrace the changes happening around you. Don't get discouraged by changes. You know, not everybody adapts well to change. Really looking for the signs that show you that you're on the right path. Ask for a specific sign. I used to do that a lot, and I would always ask for a bluebird. And we got bluebirds yesterday, actually. All right. Now we'll get to Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Yesterday we got perception, discovery, and wisdom. Oh, we had a lot of heart chakra energy yesterday. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's having a positive, productive day so far today. All right, so I'm going to fall in love with all the little taken for granteds that make this world so wild and dynamic. The planetary design team really went all out on this one. So, you know, we get that message a lot about gratitude, about being thankful. Being thankful that you may not be where you want to be, but at least you're not where you used to be. You know, really loving on yourself, seeing your own self-worth, seeing the signs of how far you've come, finding your quiet place, finding that blissful energy, even if you can't find it externally, finding it internally. Embracing any new relationships that come in, no matter what kind of relationship that is. Even if that's just embracing your relationship with yourself, loving on yourself, really thinking about what you want to manifest in this season. Severing those vows of poverty, you know, changing that, trying to recalibrate your brain to see the wealth that you have instead of the lack that you're experiencing. Organizing it. A lot about writing stuff down today. You know, really organizing your thoughts, however that works for you. You know, it's different for everybody. But organizing your thoughts, writing it down, you know, recording what you're saying, you know, taking audio notes or, you know, whatever works for you. That was balance that wanted to flip over. It showed itself. Growth and dissipating. That's interesting. Growth and dissipating. We're going to start out with dissipating because I find that really interesting. We do have a lot of growth out here. A lot of the color green. The manifestation card is green. The birds are green. Green also represents the heart chakra. We got a lot of heart chakra energy yesterday as well. And then yellow for dissipating, which represents the third chakra, solar plexus. And look at this. The birds are green and yellow. These are green and yellow. All right. Dissipating. Canary yellow. I am more than I think I am. Look at that. You are worthy. We are all worthy. No matter how judgmental and critical you are of yourself, you're worthy. The legend. Canary, a pet bird, has wonderful ideas for an action movie starring his owner, Miss Robinson. They frequently discuss the exciting plot with friends and family. But when they are given money to make the screenplay a reality, Canary and Miss Robinson choose to go on a cruise instead. Oh, wow. For the rest of their lives, they talk about their great story and exist in fantasy and not reality. The inspiration. Beware of being imprisoned by the story you tell. Do you intend to do what you say? Wow. So calling yourself out. What are things that we talk about doing? We always say, when the time's right, or we'll get to it when, or, we have all these big dreams that we want to do, but we miss multiple opportunities to do it. Wow. All right. Personal inquiry. A lack of planning does not indicate misfortune. I am doing what I say. So, yeah. Okay, hold on. My mind is spinning. Okay. Key ideas. Taking action, content to dream, going in circles, strong intelligence, making excuses, and procrastinating. Key words: companionship, connection, and assistance. Wow. So, calling yourself out. You know what I mean? Not putting your words into action. A lack of planning does not indicate that misfortune. So actions speak louder than words. We can plan and plan and plan and talk about it all day long, but talking about it and doing it are completely different. That goes back to what I said earlier about having the knowledge and applying the knowledge are two completely different things. So repeating patterns, repeating the same thing, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different response or a different outcome. If you look at the scene on this TV, it looks like a private investigator guy. He's got glasses and a trench coat and a hat, and he's hiding his face behind a newspaper. And you know what they say about TVs? TVs watch us. So, that song, somebody's what I always feel like somebody's watching me. Yeah. These pictures on the wall, it's like it's the same person, but just from different angles. Oh, wow. I saw a clip where it talked about something like that this morning about the different sides the different sides of people. You never really know. You never really know who somebody is. You only ever see certain sides of people. The video that I saw about it was talking about a painting where they had painted the guy on the canvas and he didn't like the way that he looked in the painting. And so they painted it again over top of the same painting. And the woman was talking about, our true selves versus the self that we want the world to see, that they're not the same person. Yeah. Growing out of that phase, growing out of feeling like you have to be somebody that you're not, being embracing who you are, loving who you are, letting go of the illusion that we present to the world, knowing that we're worthy of self-love and love from others, and that poverty is just a mindset. If you see the true wealth that you experience every day in all the little things that we take for granted, we are all wealthy. The signs are all around us. Let that energy dissipate. You know, let go of that. We're all guilty of it. I try very much to be like my most authentic self around people, but a lot of us carry armor and we hide certain parts about ourselves because it makes us feel vulnerable. It makes us feel exposed. You know, it takes away that security that we feel by, you know, keeping that side of us protected. So maybe that's when it talks about the sacred union, that's what we could be talking about. You know, the two sides of ourselves, the self that we copper quit, the self that we let the world see, and the self that we are when nobody else is looking. Ooh, what's I just had a song into my head. Who are you when I'm not looking? I think it's Blake Shelton. Who are you when I'm not looking? Yeah, it is Blake Shelton.
Romans 8:28 says, and we know that
of course there's always a commercial. Of those who love so no matter what. Who are you when the world's not looking? Growth. Are you the person that you want to be? Can you love who you are behind closed doors? If you were to, if we were to die today, would you be scared of what people would find in your home? Is there stuff that you do or participate in that you wouldn't want people to find? I'm just saying that's a one way to look at it. In your socks. When you undress, do you leave a path? Then sink to your nose in a bubble bath. Yeah. You're so good looking. Do you love who you are when the world's not looking? You know what I mean? That's something that a lot of us experience. You know what I'm saying? All right. Then we had growth, grass. Your message is best expressed when you are uniquely you. There we go. Confirming it once again. Loving yourself for all your quirkiness, all your flaws, and letting you be you. Your message is best expressed when you are uniquely you. So being true to who you are. The legend. Grass is excited. He is ready to tell his best friend Weed that he is gay. But Weed reacts negatively. And it is the first of many judgmental encounters for Grass. For years, he is turned down for jobs, and even when he applies for an apartment. Grass fights for the right to live where he wants and wins. But soon after he moves into his new apartment, someone breaks in and attacks him. In the hospital, his loved ones gather, sharing stories of who Grass was to them. He dies, leaving behind his legacy of love and courage. Inspiration. Grass says, break away. It may be time for a change of scenery. Visit a foreign country, embark on a new enterprise, or learn a skill. Most importantly, grow. Personal inquiry. What have I outgrown? Am I willing to become independent? Key ideas. Taking a stand, living your truth, lack of safety, clashing values, teaching by example. So, going back to what we already said, actions speaking louder than words. Keywords: warrior, peace, and courage. So, be a warrior. Peace, going back to the bliss that we saw earlier, finding that inner peace. So, and finding that courage to fight for yourself, to fight what you believe, to fight for what you believe in, to see your worth and to fight for that. Knowing that the right partnerships will come along, that it's all part of the journey, it's all part of the path. I keep being drawn back to this dissipating, letting the mask fall. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Letting the mask fall, taking the mask off. At least with yourself, in time, you'll be able to do it with other people, but at least be able to be honest with yourself, like call yourself out on your BS. Procrastination was a big message with this. So, motivating yourself, not waiting for that motivation to come from other places, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, loving yourself enough to do that. Okay. Now we'll get Animal Ally Bird card. Yesterday we got Bluebird. Then we'll get Animal Spirit Oracle. Synchronicities, really paying attention to synchronicities. Different topics that come up, different things that you see that you're like, it just makes you stop and pause and be like, didn't that, wasn't this, didn't they? If you really it takes focus. You really have to be aware of when you're living in the present, when your mind isn't distracted by so many other things, it's easy to see them because you remember stuff. But, if you're constantly distracted, you're not going to remember. Being in the moment, being present in your day-to-day life. Don't be distracted by grief, by a lack mentality. Embrace clarity as it comes in. When you see the signs and synchronicities and you get those little nudges or those little, whatever, embracing those, appreciating those. No matter in what form. Peacock. Very much lining up with the Sever Vows of Poverty Angel Abundance card. Peacock in both of those cards. And we also saw Peacock the other day in our Affirmators, the Beauty card. Resurrection is the first super. It says Peacock Superpowers. Resurrection. What was I talking about when we saw this card? Talking about the phoenix rising from the ashes. Resurrection, internal beauty, lightheartedness, laughter, gratitude, sensitivity, glamour, versatility, metamorphosis, and confidence. Peacock wisdom. What appears on the inside can be just as beautiful as what's on the outside, or vice versa. No matter how you look at it, everything has the potential for beauty. When Peacock appears, hold your head high and walk confidently. No matter the current circumstances, be on the lookout for clues to your past lives and how they connect to the current reality. Peacock wants you to know you are a wondrous creature. It's totally okay to show off when you want to. Share your beautiful gifts and insights. Boom. That's everything that we've got out here. Knowing your worth, seeing the signs, seeing your internal and external beauty, not only in yourself, but in the people around you. Knowing that it's okay to love on yourself. Yeah. There it is. Bam! Man. With peacocks, the male peacock is the one that's so showy looking. So connecting to masculine energy really with that one. They are very beautiful and elegant, but in reality, it's the masculine. It's the male peacocks. You know, it's a mating thing. Just, it's like that pretty much with all birds. The males are the more showy of between the male and the female, just like the cardinals. Male cardinals are bright red. Their whole body is. Female cardinals just have a little bit of red. They've got a lot more gray and brown on them. So going back to the partnership and the love and the companionship that we saw earlier, you know, don't be afraid to let love in. But I'm also thinking of like the wooing stage, you know, like back in the day they used to call it courting, you know, dating, putting yourself out there to be available to date, you know, seeing your beauty and having the confidence to put yourself out there, because it does say take a divinely guided chance. You know, so loving yourself enough, seeing your good attributes and using that to motivate you to kind of put yourself out there. You know, a lot of us struggle with that, especially if you've never really kind of been in the dating world. A lot of us struggle with that. All right, let's get a crystal card. Yesterday we had topaz. Then we'll get animal spirit and herbology. So and peacock has green in it too. A lot of green energy, which is the heart chakra. Going back to the love. You know, opening up your heart chakra, opening yourself up to love, that can be really hard to do, especially if you've been burned a lot. Also, eating green food. Spinach, kale, green beans, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, zucchini, peas, peppers. Getting some green into your diet. Look at that. We got a green stone. Malachite. Restoration, protection, and growth. Look at that. Growth, growth. Again, the color green. Malachite sometimes forms beautiful stalactites in caves deep ground. Let's pull this up and get a little bit more. That's a beautiful color green. I don't know how she gets that to work. There, anyways, you see it. Okay. Transformation, emotional healing, and protection. Often called the stone of transformation because it helps reveal and heal emotional pain by absorbing it, facilitating personal growth and supporting positive change. Also serves as a protective stone, shielding against negative energy and promoting balance. Believed to help individuals navigate challenging times and embrace change, offering insight and support for personal development. So there you go. Change, growth, knowledge is power. Look, connected to the heart chakra, encouraging self-compassion, emotional openness, and the ability to love, to receive love and support. Bam. I love it when it lines up like that. Okay. So really just kind of bringing it all back into a nutshell. Self-love, self-care, knowing that we are worthy of our own love, love from our angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High, love from different relationships that come and go in our lives. Knowing that grief never ends because change is constantly happening. So, you know, people are going to be constantly coming and going in our lives. Attachment is the root of pain. When we get attached to people, places, things, I mean, it's just a matter of time until we lose it. And so the attachment is the root of the pain. You don't necessarily have to get attached to something to enjoy it while you have it. You know, love it, appreciate it, acknowledge it, but also let it dissipate and let it go when it's time for it to go. And that also includes mindsets, ways of thinking. Okay. Let me get our hand pan back on and we'll pull from a different deck. We're going to pull from the animal spirit.
Your hair can go 500
Confirmation.
miles over your lifetime. It's in your nature to grow. Nature's Bounty helps you grow thicker, fuller hair with...
Okay. All right. Moth, we actually saw that yesterday. Moth. Scorpion on the bottom of the deck. Cobra on the top of the deck. My hair was stuck in my necklace. All right, moth. That is air energy. Impulsive, hasty, and wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, and burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic and whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others and jittery. To bring into balance, finish a project. So that very much goes with what we've already talked about today. You know, being able to call yourself out. Being able to love yourself enough to put your words into action. All right, now we got Scorpion. Let's see. And Cobra. And that's fire energy. Scorpion is passionate, competitive, tends towards isolation. The Scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are a few select friends. Sometimes the Scorpion's heat festers, and they focus on an unresolved event from the past. Usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The Scorpion card is it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. When in balance, wild and free and fierce. When out of balance, jealous, resentful, and unresolved. To bring into balance, honesty and forgiveness. So, once again, being honest with ourselves, being honest with the people that are around us, you know, dropping the mask, letting go of the facade. This is very much scorpionic energy, like from a scorpion, a Scorpio. That's from October to November, the end of October, the beginning of November. All right, and then we got Cobra. Pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. The Cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The Cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, and ever loving. The essence of the Cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears? When in balance, a student of life, humble and wise. When out of balance, know-it-all and egocentric. To bring into balance, take a class and study. So once again, like relationships coming in to teach us things, learning lessons, looking back to the past and learning from it. Being willing to learn. Being willing to accept whatever role you played in your life being where it is now. I didn't show them earlier. The cards that we got with the animal spirit yesterday was dragon. All right, now we'll get a herbology card. We're going to try it for just one of these today because the messages in these cards are really long. Yesterday we got leadership and conduit, both mushroom cards yesterday. Embracing the growth, you know, embracing, even though we may feel like we make mistakes, there's still lessons that can be learned from making those mistakes. Sometimes we learn more from making mistakes than we do, you know, succeeding. Years ago, I heard the saying, you know, we never truly fail. Every time we think we failed, we've just learned how not to do it. Where this like fire is on the Scorpion card, but I don't know why I'm seeing that as like passion. Let your passion lead you, but also don't make your choices just based on that passion. You know what I'm saying? Like, think logically about it, write it down. You know, is it truly what you want? Don't rush into anything. You are worthy of love, but don't accept that love from the wrong places. Like, don't be so desperate for love that you'll just take whatever you can get. You know what I mean? Be honest with yourself about that. You know, we did talk about dating earlier. Motherwort, strength. Card number 13. St. John's wort on the bottom of the deck, radiance. Number 16, Mucna, journey, on the top of the deck. So, Motherwort, 13, strength. Having the strength to walk away from the people, places, and things that don't serve you. Once again, I'm seeing the shape of the uterus and the fallopian tubes right here. The heart is in like a little box, like I want to say like a window that's shaped kind of like a castle window, opening up to her heart. We did talk earlier about, opening up your heart, being willing to accept love from others, from angels, ancestors, spirit guides, the Most High, people, places around you, opening up your heart, knowing when to open up your heart and when not to. There's also a lion in this card, which in the tarot, in the strength card, which this is strength, she's petting the lion. And we talked about mountains the last couple days. If you look right here, like with the imagery of the card, there's people walking up her hair like it's a mountain. See, if you block out her as a person, this is a mountain. There's 3 people there. Maybe like a man, woman, and child is kind of how I'm seeing it. Interesting. Water of life. Like, that's how I'm seeing this water down here. Water of life. Living water. All right, Motherwort 13. Strength. Upright strength, essence of creation, connecting to the creative within, fertility, birth, creativity, inner trust. Astrological ruler is Venus. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, so feminine energy. The botanical name Leonis cardica comes from the ancient Greek of lion and aura of fertile, referring to the plant's leaves, which resemble a lion's tail. Cardica pertains to the herb's actions on the heart. As a whole, the name translates to a term that speaks to motherwort's action on the physical cardiovascular system and the emotional and spiritual heart. So, heart health, protecting your heart, nourishing your heart, making healthy choices. Motherwort has a strong history of use in both Europe and Asia and is associated with aiding mothers and women. Many cultures have used motherwort to honor their goddesses of fertility because of the herb's association with Venus and the moon. It was considered a protective plant, especially useful to guard pregnant women and their unborn children from envy or evil eye. Evil air, it says. It was often planted around the home or hung from doorways, as it was said to keep away unwanted guests, both physical and supernatural. Motherwort was either smoked or burned to use for smoke cleansing, as it would drive bad spirits out of the house. Many species of motherwort was used for heart protection and for counter magic to reverse a curse. Japanese folklore tells of a town where the main water source was a stream fed by rainwater trickling through hills of motherwort. The inhabitants of the village drank daily from this stream and were bestowed with extraordinarily long life, up to 130 years old. Ancient Greeks used motherwort to treat anxiety, depression, heart palpitations, and nervousness in pregnant women. In traditional Chinese medicine, motherwort is used to invigorate the blood. Guidance. Like the radiance of a lion's heart, motherwort's energy builds inner trust and confidence. The lion-hearted motherwort is representative of the beauty we possess when we own the power of our gifts and creativity. The goddess sits centered as the lion leans on her in a state of peaceful delight, symbolizing the unwavering faith we must keep as we transcend old fears. Dude, this is everything we've talked about in a nutshell. Venus, her planetary ruler, is like a midwife to our happiness, channeling how we accept and transmute our heart's desires. Find new ways to facilitate creativity that honor and reveal your passions and strength. Devote yourself to the fertility of your gifts and courageously accept your divine destiny. Bam! I can't even add anything to that. That is everything that we just talked about in a nutshell. Having that inner strength, loving yourself, knowing that you're worthy, embracing your creativity, manifesting what you truly want, being your true authentic self and not the self that, you present at one time to the world or what the world projects onto you. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was deep. All right, now we're going to get Archangel of Fire Oracle. Then we'll get a Mary Magdalene and we'll be done. Yesterday we got Xandophon, number 5. With this dissipating, I just thought deception. Don't let your heart be deceived. Know that all the changes that are happening are divinely guided changes. Get organized, get ready, get excited for the changes that are coming. Embrace your awkwardness. Know that a lot of times the things that we see as being awkward about ourselves, a lot of times is what the outside world loves about us the most. Raziel flipped over right there on the top. We're going to acknowledge him, but I don't feel like I should take that one. That was too quick. Gagiel. I want one to actually flip off. Chamuel, card number 9. Once again, feminine energy. Barakiel on the bottom of the deck. Tahariel on the top of the deck. The color pink. There's a lot of white doves in this picture. Pink roses. There could be something significant about roses. You can, I mean, you can actually eat rose petals. You can put them in tea. You can put them in, health and beauty stuff. Roses have a lot of, I think they're high in vitamin C, I do believe. She is card number 9. She is the first angel of the archangels of the pink ray. Look at that chakra, heart chakra, the organ of the human heart. Healing qualities, love, romance, compassion, kindness, trust, and connection. All of it in a nutshell. Crystal association, rose quartz, pink tourmaline, pink diamond, sapphire, pink amethyst, essential oil rose. Star constellation, the Wagoneer. Her message, love and relationships. The beautiful Archangel Chamiel is known as the angel of the heart or the loving one. The name Chamiel comes from the word Lenachem in Hebrew, which means comfort and compassion. Chamiel's pure love can help release sorrow from your heart and guide you towards forming open-hearted and balanced relationships. Call on this angel to attract romance and when you need help to resolve issues with loved ones. Whenever this being is around, you may get a fluttery butterfly feeling in the pit of your stomach. Chamiel is sometimes portrayed as a masculine angel, but she can also be attributed with soft feminine energy as depicted in her oracle card. She often arrives surrounded by springtime green and deep pink, the colors of love and compassion. Call upon Chamiel to open your heart chakra and release any misunderstandings, hurts, or rejections. Her gentle yet powerful love can dissolve even the most stubborn lower emotions. She will infuse all your relationships with perfect unconditional love. Chamiel is also the archangel charged with finding lost things and can help you locate anything from misplaced keys, new friends, your ideal career path, or even a soulmate. Message: open your heart and let yourself be cherished. Always remember that you are loved and you are made of love. That's exactly what our affirmation says. It's not about finding love. You are love itself. Help me, Lord, to send so much compassion and caring to the inner child that I always remember I myself am love. I mean, it says, bam, bam. All right. To become the Earth Angel Chamiel, open your heart to greater love. You may heal all aspects of your life and relationships. Holding feelings of unforgiveness towards another person only hurts you and holds you back. Bring the image of any challenging person or situation into your heart and allow yourself to feel love towards this person or event. You will soon see hidden blessings bloom in your relationship and feel grateful for all the people who have come into your life to help you grow. Like, what can I add to that? There's nothing to add to that. All right, now we'll get Mary Magdalene, and we'll be done for the day. Yesterday, we got the legacy. Keeping your eyes open for the signs. Loving yourself enough to let down that mask. Take accountability. Appreciate all the little things. letting go of the lack mentality and realizing that, everything happens for a reason. If you take the time to stop and listen, you will be divinely guided through this growth, through this dissipating negative energy. Writing it down, speaking it into existence, manifestation, however you want to say it. Seeing your own inner beauty. Healing the inside will show on the outside. The more you heal on the inside, the more beautiful it will shine. We all have it, but we have to nurture it, All right. Mary, Mary, full of grace, what advice can you give us today? We actually got 3. I'm just going to take the top one. Mary Magdalene, love only ever expands. Then we also got the breath, I reclaim my soul. And the 7th power, anger is information. So whatever triggers you is a chance to learn. The 2nd power, I trust what my soul desires, on the bottom of the deck. And presence, I exist intensely, was on the top of the deck. Mary Magdalene, love only ever expands. Card number 54, which breaks down to a 9. Let me get a drink before we start. Papaya, pineapple, and banana. I don't know why it's starting to glitch. It's been doing that a lot the last few minutes. All right. Love only ever expands. Peter says to Mary in her gospel, quote, "Sister, we know the Savior loved you more than all other women," end quote. Referencing Mary chapter 6, verse 1. This passage makes clear that Christ's love for Mary was unique and singular. And so there were teachings that his love for her alone could communicate. Teachings that she alone could receive, and that she alone could then share with the rest of the world. Because of this, Peter then asks Mary, quote, "Tell us the words of the Savior that you remember, the things which you know that we don't, because we haven't heard them," end quote, referencing Mary chapter 6, verse 2. The heart of Mary's gospel then follows. She reveals what has been hidden from us. She teaches us about the vision we're all capable of, how the soul perceives the world with the spiritual eye, or a form of seeing from within this unassuming and humble space of the human heart. Mary's intimate exchange with Christ in her gospel takes place from within her. Christ tells her that she's wonderful for being able to perceive him, and that this capacity to see with the heart, this true vision, is the treasure. This love that sits at the core of who we are is what allows us to become a bridge between the worlds. That goes back to what we talked about. Yes, we got the conduit card with the herbology yesterday. This love that is stronger than death. This love that reminds us when we are bound by a power of the ego that we are also a soul. This love that frees us. When we allow love to overwhelm us, letting it reach where we feel broken, unlovable, or forgotten, this is the whole point of being here. The point is to let love reach where it has never been before. Christ's love for Mary is the other half of the Christian story. It's the other half of his ministry. And I believe we're ready for it now, which is why her buried gospel, lost to us for almost 2 millennia, has been found. We're ready to put their love story into practice. Their story is a love that has always been meant for us. This love that makes simply being fully human our true purpose. This love that resurrects. This love that brings us back to life again and again. This love that only ever expands. The soul voice meditation. Where has my love not yet reached? So once again, going back to dropping the mask, loving yourself, loving, sharing that love with others, opening your heart to give and receive. Loving yourself enough to nurture your inner child and to let that healing keep happening, letting go of the things that people, places, and things, and thought patterns and emotions that no longer serve us. Knowing that love is the answer in all situations. Embracing the clarity, embracing the changes. I don't think that could have summed it up any better today. The Archangel card and the Mary Magdalene card did a great job of summing up everything that we've talked about today. That being said, I'm going to leave it there. It was 41:45 on the timer when I looked. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, but you could possibly change their life. And you never know the impact it could have on yours. Be blessed. Find peace. And I'll see you next time.